Greetings, everyone. A couple of weeks ago, our beautiful Juniper, our cat, had passed away. His health had deteriorated rapidly, taken a very surprising nosedive, and at the vet it became clear, and maybe even before that actually, that it was time to let go, and we had to put him down. And in the following days, in my grief, with tears in my eyes, I decided to write him a song. I called it Juniper's Song. And that is a song I'm going to share with you today. And I believe it's a very special song because it seems to have captured a certain essence about him that is impossible to convey with words, because oftentimes you might look at pictures of someone, or you might look at videos of someone, but you never really quite feel their presence, if you know what I mean. But I think the song actually manages to capture that. There's a certain feeling, emotion, and presence that the song represents. So I think a piece of his soul is in that song, as well as my soul, as well as a piece of Irene's soul, my fiancée. There is also an interaction, a day-to-day interaction that I wanted to represent through the sound of instruments in this song. And I'm going to explain that to you right now so you have a little bit of context so that you understand what's going on in there. So Juniper was a very loud walking cat, very uncat-like. It was almost as if whenever he walked, he was on his heels, heel first into the ground, so you could hear him coming from a mile away. So it's like a-do, 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 a-do. And that's important because the interaction that I'm talking about, it goes something like this. Oftentimes, Juniper would approach us, as he would, and we would hear him coming from a mile away, and whenever he wanted something, he would do one of two things. Either he would do what we called bapping. He would bap us with his paw and try to get our attention, or he would meow. And if we didn't acknowledge him at first, he would keep meowing, but he would make it increasingly more obnoxious. He would get increasingly louder about it. And oftentimes we would then finally acknowledge him. Either me or Irene would say, "Junie Bear," in the sing-song fashion. We at times, that was one of his nicknames, Junie Bear, because we thought at times he looked a bit like a bear. And when we acknowledged him, he had this quirk where his tail, which is usually up when he's around us, it would twitch. It would twitch in excitement. It was as if he was excited that he was acknowledged and that, therefore, he was about to get what he wanted, either a treat or to go outside, whatever it is that he wanted. And I tried to represent that in the song through instruments. So it goes like this. Juniper approaches us as a Japanese taiko drum, a-do, 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 a-do. And then he meows at us, and his meows represented by a flute. And it gets increasingly louder, it gets increasingly more prominent. And he gets then acknowledged by Irene, who is represented by a sing-song type clarinet. And finally, the twitching of his tail represented by a quick roll on a timpani. I thought this exposition was essential in order for everyone to understand. And that is all. I wanted everyone to know that going into the song. So without any further ado, here is Juniper's Song. I hope you enjoy it.